How y'all doing today? We are gonna be talking about neutral. We're not gonna go too much in depth about it, but I got the inspiration to talk about this topic from a match I had with my friend like 2 days ago. He recently got diamond, and basically he wanted to improve. He always would play me to want to essentially improve. When I played as Ryu that match, or the 3 sets that we played, in the final set, he ended up finding out like, well, why can't I react to the whip? Why can't I react to Poison's whip normals? They're so unreactable. I can't deal with them. I feel like if I get the lead and stuff, or if I get a small lead, I can't go in and things like that. And I told him, like, you don't have to go ham all the time, but it's about playing safe. Realizing, okay, I have the lead. And when you play safe, you start to see like tendencies with the opponent, what they might want to do. You play outside of ranges, things like that. And then of course the mind games happen. So that was the main part I wanted to get to, was the mind game section, right? Because that's what neutral is about. Like, I could give you the textbook definition of neutral, where it's basically 2 characters are sitting here in the neutral, no inherent advantage, no nothing, right? Granted, there are characters that are able to dominate in this kind of range, where their normals will reach at around round start range. Poison is one of them. Crouching heavy punch and medium whip both reach at round start ranges. She basically can set the pace of the match, being that she's a zoner. Of course, she's not gonna get a big ass combo from these things, right? She only really gets to chip you and poke away at you, right? And basically annoy you. And for a character like Ryu wants to basically use his fireballs to dictate mid-range as well, right? That's why he does it. But the problem is that if he plays this way, I will trade with his fireballs, right? Every time. I'll trade with his fireballs on every approach for all of my normals, and I win on the trade. For a lot of people, this is confusing. I'm going to show you the way that my friend played the matchup, which is what a lot of higher level players will do against Poison, right? And I kind of went ham about it and talked to him about it, but I was really serious because I was trying to hammer in the point to him, right? So, I mean, we could watch this now. Why can't you do this every time? I said to him, why can't you do this every time? Why can't you play like this every time? Look, he has the lead. He's keeping the lead. I don't know, man. That's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to just get out. And you see, my chest. He's not like trying to overextend. That's just all I wanted to get off of my fucking chest. He anti-airs me too, right? So he's playing Street Fighter, right? In my honest opinion, he's playing the basic form. Like, why couldn't you just play like this? He's playing the basic form of Street Fighter. He's not even taking risks to whiff punish the whip. He's just walking out the ranges. He sees me jump, he anti-airs me, right? Very basic, but it's effective, right? He's not playing lame at all when you see this clip. All he's doing is just playing within the ranges of the normals. He sees the crouch and fierce. If he's in the range, he doesn't press a button. He just blocks it. He throws a fireball, stop my walk-up approach, right? And he walks to take the space, and he's just like, cool, I will take this advantage, right? See that? And then he forced me to jump because he stopped me from walking up towards him. He used low forward. He used the fireball to stop me from walking, right? So he's playing the mid-range very well. Very well. And a lot of players, when I talked to them about it, even when I was explaining this to him, when I was explaining it to my friend, he was getting confused because he's like, I have to react to the whip. I got to worry about the whip. But you don't have to do anything. If the whip whiffs, it's cool, especially if you have the lead. You don't have to take any risk. There's always a mind game to neutral, right? There's like a cycle, right? If a player is like constantly pressing buttons within a particular range, they don't want you to dash in on them, right? And they don't want you to basically come towards them on the ground. They're basically trying to cover this range. And Poison will do that. She's going to try to cover this range around where her crouching heavy punch will hit to stop you from approaching her, and you can't walk her down this way as a result. This is like the first step, right? People whiffing normals like this to stop your approach. But then what you do is, if you see that they're doing this, see that? You could whiff punish the limb, right? That's one way to go about it, right? If someone's whiffing normals like this. You don't have to just whiff punish the limb though. And that's if you know. The other way you could deal with it is, of course, you can jump. But this is a risk, because if someone is playing like this, especially if they're playing at the max range of their normal, they can see your jump and anti-air it, right? A crouching medium punch like this, right? But if I do it here, I'm a hella get fucking jumped in on. And the thing about this too is if you anticipate when I press it and I do it late, then you get a combo, right? So you can jump in on poison, you can jump in on zoners, and you can jump in, and that's not just against her, that's against anybody, even around this range. If the player is focused on just pressing like their normals to stop you on the ground and keep you in a particular range, right? If they're not spacing their normals out, or if they're just focused so heavily on walking you down and playing that mid-range, or just just trying to keep you out this way, then you can get jumped in on and you can die. But if they're properly like spacing their normals and they're pressing low committal normals, then they can anti-air you respectively. So you have to be careful about that, right? It's all about their focus on what they're trying to look for in the neutral. There's if someone presses a button like preemptively to stop you from approaching, you whiff punish, or you could jump, or you can just walk them down, right? That's another way you can do it too. Another thing you can do, right? If you start seeing that they're like pressing buttons like this, like they're just throwing this stuff out, right? Sometimes, again, you don't have to take the risk. You can just block. You can just chill. Let's say the opponent knows that you're trying to whiff punish their normal, right? Then the next thing that happens is you don't whiff the normal. You make them whiff their normal, right? What you do is when you press this, right? When you're pressing this normal, you don't press anything the next time, right? Granted, for poison, she's so far. So I would have to start pressing normals around here for it to be worthwhile, right? Let's say you know the opponent's going to try to look to whiff punish your button, right? Let's say I try to press stand medium kick here, and Ryu wants to whiff punish it, right? Then what happens is I just let him whiff. It's a crush counter on a medium normal. It goes pretty far. So like if we press it on the same frame, every time if we press it on the same frame, he'll win, right? It's okay for him to press this button against this normal, right? Like, it's fine. This is a whiff punish, and he could get a combo from that at closer ranges. If I'm the poison player, I now have to look for this, right? I have to look for this normal and try to whiff punish it, right? Of course, the opponent's going to be moving. They won't stand here like this, right? But if I see that they're going to press this normal, then I'm going to wait and whiff punish it, right? But a more complex example was when I was fighting my friend, and he started to talk about the low forward situation, right? I want you to understand is that sometimes you don't have to take huge risks. If you got the lead, which is what you did, you got the lead, right? You got the lead. After this, you could have backed off and done nothing and chilled. You didn't have to press the situation, right? You did it in the previous game where we played. In the previous game where we played, you played out the range of my crouching fucking heavy punch. If you had done that in this game, you wouldn't have gotten whiff punished here. I whiff punished his crouching medium kick because he was trying to stop me from walking, but he was outside the range, right? If he tries to hit me with crouching medium kick while I'm walking back, which is what he wants to do, right? If I'm in a particular range where he could do this, in the low forward fireball, I can whiff punish him, right? Because he doesn't want me to walk back. You see that? He doesn't want me to walk back. He doesn't want me to essentially change my positioning. And this goes back to the point that I was talking about, right? If I know you're trying to stop me from walking or dashing or moving, and you're trying to use that button to stop that, then I can wait, or I can adjust my spacing away from that normal to play outside of it and then whiff punish it, right? So that's how you would stop that. You would wait for your opponent to whiff the normal, right? And then whiff punish them. That, or again, it's a rotating wheel, right? You could jump, you can dash, right? So it's a rock paper scissors in a way, right? That's the mind game about it. There's waiting for the normal that's being pressed over and over and whiff punishing it. There's pressing the button to stop the approach, and then there's taking an action that's not as reactable. You can dash in if they're trying to react to something, but they don't know what to do because you've given them another option to worry about, right? Like, this is the neutral. Like, that's what it's about. It's about that rock, paper, scissors. That's why it's so ambiguous. And this is what I was trying to explain to my friend, right? Now, of course, guys, right, like, it's not as complex as something like this when I explain matchups, right? Because if you see here, Zeku's Gram will whiff punish me for doing medium whip. But you couldn't tell that if you were a regular player looking at this, right? If you were just a standard player looking at this. So I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be as complex as this. The way I'm breaking it down to you guys It's very simple. It's very simple, right? It's always a rotating wheel within neutral. You have to think about it that way. And there's mind games to be had, right? That's what makes fighting games amazing, right? That's what makes them amazing, is the fact that you have this kind of back and forth discussion between both players.
A good fight should be like a small play, but played seriously. A good martial artist does not become tense, but ready. Not thinking, yet not dreaming. Ready for whatever may come. When the opponent expands, I contract. When it contracts, I expand. And when there is an opportunity, I do not hit. It hits all by itself.
If you liked the video, if you enjoyed this type of content from me, I haven't made content like this in a while. I normally make it very high edited, but it's a lot of work, so I don't mind doing it via the stream. If you like the content, definitely sub to my channel, alright? And leave a like and a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Also, as well, you know, I make other content like clips and everything from the stream, and all the stuff is being done on the stream. So if you want to be a part of that, come to my stream, twitch.tv/Sonic_Sol. Anyway, I hope I could do more of these videos in the future for you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys next time. Peace.